Welcome to the last series in this last class in this series of energy and motion. Ain't that the truth? I mean, you move, there's energy, and it's moving in motion. Today, I'm going to let you come in to my at-home Gym studio. Never before, open to the world, but I've rearranged some things today, and I'm going to give you a few ideas of what you could do with these wonderful pieces of apparatus. This is my airship. I call it the airship. My best companion, Albus Anubis. This is 4 feet. And it is a way to start your day. Very easy, realigning way. You can do this with your targets, so 3 fluid. You can do this with your C major. You can go with anything. You can take 2 over here. A minor augmented, and do the same. It's about shifting your weight. So hands are draped, barely holding on, just shift the weight slightly to the back. Then let the breath come in. And keep coming in, because it opens up your chest, so lots of others will want to come in easily. And then exhale, bend your knees slightly until you come to as close to center as you can. You might even be a little bit forward, but you're not falling. And just slowly think doing that. And let the parts all organize themselves in the right congruency, like the hands and the shoulders, just so that when you go back, it's much more subtle. And of course, here, the item is catching. Let the breath fill up into your upper areas of your lungs and come back to neutral. Shift your weight over to the right side. Enough that you can take your left heel off the ground and leave your toes down. Left heel back onto the ground, both heels. Shift your weight to the left until you can lift your left heel up and leave your right heel up, right foot in front. Each time you complete one of these sequences, let the breath come in. Let it radiate outwards to the edge of its radiation. Then let it get back in. We're going to do a bend of the knees. Start thinking of it like a yoga pose. Shoulders relaxed. Legs lying along that deep squat, no matter how wide. And return. And think back. At the end of the radiant expansion, exhale, weight drop down to your feet, return home, and go right on to rolling the head this time. Bending the elbow this time. Slightly pulling down. And slowly releasing. Roll down. Lower that one, pressing down, extending. Lean back. Up to the ceiling of your head. Feel an inhalation up underneath the scapula and let it bring you back to center. Once again, I'll roll down. The elbows are bent. Exhaling, bringing everything to center. Now we're going to look down. Let the pelvis move to the back and let the eyes gaze forward. Uttanasana. Ala. Echo. Let the weight shift to the left. Let the weight shift to the right. Your feet stay on the ground. Let yourself come back to center. Let the tailbone go up. Gather your breath. The left arm. I shift the weight to the right. I lift the left heel off the ground. Press the toe. Pull the elbow toward you and open the elbow. Then push with the bottom arm upward towards the ceiling to straighten the left arm. And breathe. We can turn the eye open and open the whole opening spiral of the left leg, hip, ribs, shoulders. Opening outward and of course then closing inward, rib, upper ribs, lower ribs, inside of the hips, down to the knee and the foot spiraling, pressing down, coming. Let's try the other side. Heels down. Shift the weight left. Raise up to the left. Bring the bar in closer toward you. Look up toward the ceiling. And then extend, pulling back with the left arm. We'll gently extend the right arm. And let that open up this whole right side of the rib cage. Take a breath in and then radiate outward, expand. Let it build up through your belly, through your body, up underneath the shoulders, until you have the full length underneath your right shoulder. A long, long line. Oh. And down. Okay. Release. Wasn't that some line? Oh. The spiral. The spiral opening from the feet on up. Shift to the weight. Left heel up. Left toes down. Imagine the big eye. Pulling toward you, which pulls and presses the left arm up until finally the two could find what that long length is. Exhale. Right down into the low back. And watch the radiance, the radiance move up behind the kidneys, behind the back ribs. Pressing against the back ribs, the whole rib get opening through the front ribs to spiraling. Keep that heel down. Keep releasing the left down. You know when you're alive, if I could do a little chill, and everything just kind of goes along for the ride. But not, it'll be stiff but down. Everything's all connected. Because I'm all connected from the toes to the head. That means I can create all sorts of little variations on this leg, up and down, which is a continuous motion from the legs, the ribs, and their variables. They do this at one point, and then they do this at the other, and then they do this. They can do it as, here we go. You can do it as a rhythm. That's really good. Good in my shoulders. Okay. Here we go. Just cleaned up. Winter's over, got off the trampoline. And 2 E-minus. And this is just, I just started shaking it inside. Oh, this is bouncing. You don't need to think about the shape. And basically, these E-minus are just being held with the tension of the skin. I can let it rest against the wall. And I want to get these shoulders so that they're lined up over the ears. So that, first we take the ball, the icon at the shoulder, and just roll over so the icons go slightly behind you. And then stand up straight, and then contract so that in front of you. Go back behind you, and then go back directly to the side. Or maybe even slightly back accordingly, and just pulse. And in the pulsing, you want to let go of any tension. So it usually starts down to the legs. The legs find a place that really feels stable. For me, it's pressing forward, so I'm slightly pushing this leg, but resting against the tension in the upper thighs. And I feel like I'm ahead of my heels. It's my arms. Now, stop bouncing, just lift the shoulders up and lower back. And then have a pulse. And I want to get the pulse up into the shoulders. So what I did was I unlocked them, down, come down, lengthen all the way. I pop them up, unlocked them, circulated them around the back in the center of this circle of sphere that encapsulates the shoulder area. This is good because I have a real, today, extra tightness in my left shoulder. So, this is allowing all fibers that are coagulating, areas that are coagulating, tension. It's now giving it a range of motion. That's appropriate. It's kind of like just floating. That's the idea, is to create space. And that joint area. And create electricity. So that activates that area and makes the soul jump. Changes ability to gather pressures, hydraulic pressures. The hydraulic pressures are sort of build. Trying to think about building them, but because they got more connected, there's more fluidity, stability, communication going through my whole body now. So I'm now starting to actually go back a little bit and it feels normal. because I have buoyancy and it's bouncing down and up to be in place. And that being said, I have a line now because I'm no longer swinging forward, it's more centered, so my thumb is more involved, my spine's more involved. They're all having influence of this wave pattern. Underneath the back ribs. Behind the back of my eyes. Opening through my lower belly. Sinking me down more. Feeling more asleep. Yeah, that way down. It's starting to feel so it's like it actually isolates now. Left, right, there it goes. So it's kind of like jiggling along here. Left, right, left, right. If I continue this, if I get up to my shoulders, it's got to go through my lower back. It's got to go through the rib cage. Now it gets underneath the scapula, and now it begins to get into the shoulders, and now we begin to shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy. You see how silly it plays? Now, I'm widening in the back of my upper rib cage, becoming more spherical in the upper area and it's kind of getting buoyant and lifting up, almost like a ball rolling on top of the water. Good. Go right back of my ribs. Let's see what it does to my shoulder blades. Much more in the rib cage, just letting the shoulder blades hang. All right. I get much better than that. Let's add a little bit more balance. Take the ball a little bit away from me so I put that in the elbows. I want to make sure I have the ball, so I'm going to wrap, clasp, loose clasp, touch my pinky, my pointing finger and thumb. Turn the balls from, I turn my hands so that they're not parallel. Saturate. And now, the ground is down deep. I'm pushing. Push. You think for it. My body's at one rhythm, and my arm's going to be a different rhythm. My body's a 1, 2, my arm's going to be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. But polyrhythms. Oh yeah. Woo. Woo. That feels enlivening. Expanding my breath. This is work here. Staying loose. Letting that echo go down to my feet. So I have a slight limit in my lower body. Oh. All right. Enough. Woo. Polyrhythms. And the body of another rhythm, right? But that echo, that rhythm is bouncing through the whole body. Boom, head to toe, inside, outside, ribcage. Everything expanding to allow that rhythm then just to ride on top of this wave. So everything inside built up. And then you take the downbeat, just the pressure here, and those waters begin to hit certain areas. And as the stream goes down, it hits a rock and it splits and its rhythm changes. There we go, another rhythm going on with the same undercurrent rhythm, and then at the top, this other rhythm, and you're just as loose as you could be, finding the positions not ever gripping, like grip to stop it, but to keep it so that it could come in, go out, come in, go out, come in, so it's loose. All the time. Well, here we go to my favorite setup. Better. I think this is 14 inches. 16, maybe 16. Half-inch pipe. It's stronger. It's hard to pull apart. But boy, is it good for this gym. So it responds to whatever pressure here in all these different dimensions. So if your wrist moves, it's getting pulled from here and here and here and here. It's spherical instead of linear. And then you add that onto another. Now you've got two sphericals. And it's sort of like with the bouncing. Now I have different rhythms, different flows, different tempos. So let's go back to what we did in the airship. But look, I'm going to take away my grip. Lean back. Reaches the edge of leaning back, and the whole thing just carries it forward. We're doing a roll. Reaches the edge, but can't go any farther, and it unfolds, and we're doing the Uttanasana. But right on. The upward fold. How's that? Back. Front roll. Exhale. Everything comes in to center down in the lower lobe of the belly. Inhale, radiates. And rinse off. Ooh. This time, arms stay tall. Then you look up. Hardly any pressure here, but enough to get it. I'm not having blood pressure. It's low. It's even itself out. So something's tight in my fascial field. So let's see if we can clear it up. We just slow it down a little bit. But there. It's right here coming up. And the knees. Once again, a blood flow, pressure. Response. So, not getting enough oxygen. I think we're good. So it seemed to happen on the uncurled. So now maybe this curl needs to be more back in front of the heel. Any breaths. Certainly more of a C-shaped curve. Certainly tight. And then roll. Stay on the breath of your next. And then roll. So that was real interesting. Whatever the shape was of the first two rolls, which are a little forward out here, versus the one rolling down closer with the elbows are tight to the body, had more of a curve for the spine. Here's what was interesting about coming up, is that there's always this still more pressure here, so keeping it contained, and the breath only came so far before I had to. It filled me up as far as you can go on that round. I didn't go all the way up, right? So what it did was now I took the pressure from here, exhaled a little bit, with a little bit more pressure, came up another 2 inches, exhaled a little bit. It started to move the pressure and the body, you feel the body pulling up the fluid, like from the inside, all the way from the rib cage, got up to the shoulder blades, pulling. I could feel myself pull fluids and energies and new alignments up so that I didn't go up high. No oxygen got here, right? Because I didn't pull. Everything was pulled down here. So this, coming up so fast, right, wasn't the right way to do it. Slowly coming up, being aligned with gravity, being aligned with the breath, using the body as a pump, right? So the rib cages did this and open each lower ribs, upper ribs, middle upper ribs, right? So it's like, and pull up, and then got to the back of the neck, and was able to lift it up to use the back of the spine to lift up the energies to have a balance and a shape. Moving those in sequences that allow for the energies to go fluid, like a stream rolling down. It needs its coherency. It's not hitting a waterfall. It's pulling itself in 2 directions to have this constant flow. All right. See what we got here. So now I'm going to be a little bit deeper. You know what? I have to do this the right way. Sorry, I wasn't thinking of this. All right. Sandbags. All movement is responding to the ground. So here what we're doing is lengthening ourselves out to the ground. And I kind of think of it as a frog's foot. And so that it can suck up from the ground. There's a suction there. So here I am. Right now my feet are relaxed. Now I'm just going to pull up my toes. Immediately, my pelvis is pulled down more toward the wall. Immediately, my pelvis, because it has that point now going down the vertical, begins to align itself to find where there's a balance in the flow. The breath is beginning to work from that position. And it's widening both sides, front and back of the ribs. All the way up to the shoulders and to the neck. So there's this downward pull. And then I'm on a ball of buoyancy, and it's doing this. So I'm pulled down. At the same time, I'm being pushed up. Ground force reaction is what the earth does. Our response to the earth, like the frog's feet sucking up energy. Well, you know, when it's our way of sucking up energy, we're moving gravity to our advantage. We're pulling it up from the earth, using it for our advantage now up here to keep pulling and sucking into various different specific places. All right. I might go, oh yeah, shoot. I'm going to go off the screen. That would be no fun. No. Yeah, you'll see it. What I love about this is that my hands don't have to do it. All right. Extend my legs out and gently lift the toes and rock them forward. Then sit down. Lift the toes. You'll see that the ball goes back and roots are creating a C shape. Inhale. Comes in. Exhale, lift the toes. So roll your back to the pelvis. Keep exhaling. Exhale. Exhale some more. You can take a little breath in, take a little breath in, and exhale some more. Keep making this curve shape. If you're trying to lift your toes off the ground all the way, just feel your psoas muscles, your inner thighs are doing. Keep them activated so you come back to the center. So here they are. It's inner thighs and psoas. That's all the muscles used by the now the pelvis roll. Now the C-shape happening. Now the arms creating spacing up the torso. And the thighs pressing out, up. The activated inner thighs pressing, opening strong, and the navel point to the spine. Then the psoas getting even more activated all over to the diaphragm. Big, big, big suction. And exhale and let it complete itself. You see so many times you got this position and you cut it short and you lose out on the full exhalation, the full range of the wave. Why did you truncate? Because you thought you could build up more strength? Maybe so, at a certain position along the way. But for the integrated aspect, you want to make sure you exhale all out. And then I made a sound, and you heard it, odd sound come out, but that's the sound that was coming out because of all the things that were happening on the exhalation with the leg muscles spiraling in and all that stuff, the psoas, and all of those muscles, the whole integration of it, just let that sound come out like that. So, don't do this in the gym. They'll think you're crazy. But they thought people making sounds of tennis were crazy too. Now you hear them all. Unremarkable. What I find remarkable is that the sounds are almost always the same, like, texture sound. It's not like, wah, boom, ha, pow. Not like a Batman movie, right? But those all move, shape of motion. Because they have this slow tempo for a long time. So. Here we go. The slightest, now it's just the slightest tingle in the top of my feet. And it's setting the whole body in motion. So, first up, back to the bottom. Shifts of motion. Because we're going all the way this time. Okay? I'm warmed up, I'm ready. So we want to keep it a little more contained. As in reserve energy. Let the body adjust. So we keep the blood flow. Oh my God. And that whole roll, the whole position of the pelvis is taking me to here. Like slightly lift my pelvis up. Oh, leg. How did we ever get there, huh? How did we get to that most perfect moment? Everything is coordinated. Everything is very best positioned. It is integrative position. It is cooperative position. And it's part of the whole. This is my job position. And all I have to do is learn to ride the pressures. Whoa! Arms out. How did that happen? I like it. I want it again. So, I just pick up my toes. I come back center. The motion has already started. The space and the flow and the pressures in the body and the swing are already all together. What if I just do the left foot up? Oh, was that a nice picture? Let's see what happens on the right. Right foot up. What's that? Lower to go. Right goes all the way to the left. Rib cage is turned. Double twist back. Legs shift. Ooh, is that beautiful? Wow, now left toe up. Left toe. Oh. Stage 3. Look at them. Shoulders. have a fulcrum point. Hands have a fulcrum point. Feet have a fulcrum point. And face has a fulcrum point. And I get really relaxed. Shift the weight to the left. Right. Good. Real clear, simple. Other will I don't know how to explain. All of that we'll try. Feet, ankles, belly, pull up all lungs of the body. The body responds to those by building a sequential pressure pattern inside it, with all the tissues and the muscles and all the architecture, all the close kinematic chains. But they can warm up. So they're intricate. And they're breathing and they're pulsing. If you test everything, you get one response. But if you breathe into it, you know it to be alive. Then it begins to take a shape. And it has its own rhythm, discourse. Whatever shapes it has, but the shapes are influenced by slight pressures in the geometric field of icosahedrons. The pressure coming in from all different directions the integrated one, the ico in between, which is your body, the big ico all around you, encapsulated in space. All these influences begin to become part of what builds up the pressure. So they have a geometry and a connectivity, so they move through. And just like with the ico in space, which has a geometry that it has to take on, so does the body. If I move this ico from here to here, look, there's a geometry. Now, where are my hands and everything else? I've reached the limit of this arc because it's in a support system. Now the new arc comes to there, right? So there's two arcs, 1 and 2. And now what's going to happen? Well, that depends on what's going on in my body, my legs, and where my arms are. But if I continue, look, a new arc is spiraled this way, and a new arc spiraled that way. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, and 8. And all of those are different arcs, and all of those are building up the pressure through the body. So as it comes up through the legs, the sandbags on, building up an arc, building up moving fluid, building the pressure. All of a sudden, against the ball, which is fluid, it's pulling pressure down, and the ball has buoyancy. So boom, you bounce up and fulfill the radiance of that expansion. And there we have it, right against the shoulder blades, against the arms floating out. Oh, and it goes as far as it could on that one sequence, because then it regathered itself. Everything maybe a little bit shifts and changes. It's like another surge of water coming down the stream. So, like, let's say a dam's being opened up, a bunch of surges down, and then a lesser one, right, shaping the flow. So the next one has a whole new organization, material organization to work with, in which to suddenly move itself out in a different aspect of the arc. It's just reading the waves, the pressures that are against you internally, and the pressures that are supporting you externally. And that's, to me, is truly a biointelligent and biointensive fitness.